Hello, welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing an unboxing. It's from Your Creative Studio, and I am so excited because these are my favorite subscription boxes. I've already had a little bit of a peek because I did do a TikTok where I pulled everything out and showed it a little bit, but this will be more detailed and you'll be able to see all of the goodies. So, this is their little sticker. I love this paper. I actually used it in my last layout from Your Creative Studio, so you'll definitely want to check that out. So let's see what's in here. I think what I'll do is set the box over here and kind of pull things out. So this is the first little bit, and I believe it is going to be a cling stamp. So let's see how this looks. I love the packaging. I use this because I think it's so pretty for journaling, like as a pocket. Let's see. Look at how beautiful. It's a candle. Look at this. Oh, that's like a really neat vintage tall candle. I love that. And then an itty bitty candle. Oh my gosh, very cute. I actually love these candles. The image stamp's so beautiful. So these are really cool to have. These are little airmail envelopes. Oh my goodness, these are a really neat size. And it looks like you get a good amount of them, so that's really neat. I love those. This appears to be paper, or I don't know, let's see. Let's open it, let's find out together. Oh, it's a mini journal. Oh my goodness, I love that. I don't know if I'll keep it as a journal or if I will take it apart and just use this paper because it's actually a very interesting weight. It's actually like wallpaper. And if I didn't say it already, this is actually the September box. So this was the September box. I believe you can probably order October or even November at this point, but I'm gonna link all their information below. This is another cling stamp. Oh, how exciting, another cling stamp. Oh, this is a big one. And it's a lantern. Oh my goodness. This one is beautiful. I'm very excited about that one. These are really neat. They look like, I'm actually gonna open them up. They're images that look like large postage stamps, which y'all know how I feel about postage stamps. But it actually appears that they are vellum, and I think they're even stickers. So that's really neat. Oh my gosh, look at the kitty. Oh my gosh, my kitty is asleep next to me on the bed. I'll pan over in a sec so you can see her. But how neat are these? Yeah, oh, look at the VW bus. But they're actually stickers. Well, those are really neat. I like those a lot. And there's, as you saw, a whole bunch. I mean, I can't even count these. Like, oh my gosh, there may be 50, 60 plus in here. So that's really cool. That's the really neat thing about these subscription boxes is that they come with so much. This appears to be paper. This will be awesome for collaging. Collaging is something that I really love doing in some capacity on every page. These are a really neat paperweight. Oh, I quite love those. Those are really neat. Love those. These are decal stickers, and they are lanterns that match the stamp. Quite love those. Those are really beautiful. This box was something I was really excited about when I did the little TikTok preview. Sorry for hitting the camera. They are labels, and they are all different colors. And it appears that they are stickers even, yeah. So that's really neat. You get red, you get blue, and green, and there are so many. These are so neat to put on top of photos or to use in your layouts. Oh my gosh, there's so many, I can't even pick them all up. This is, oh wow, to me this is priceless. I'm gonna use these in probably almost every layout. Those are really, really neat. So wow, I'm very, very excited about that. All right, and this is another cute little envelope, and I think this is, yep, it's washi tape. So let's open this up because you know how much I love washi tape. Oh my goodness, look at, it's like candles And it's very vintage looking. Oh, I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait to use that in the layout. And then this, I don't actually know, maybe cards? Let's check. This is so fun. It's like a little Christmas present every time I open one of these boxes. Oh, that's so beautiful. Look, they're envelopes. And inside, I guess you can open them up. Oh my goodness. And the card comes out. Oh my goodness, these are so beautiful. I absolutely love these. Oh my goodness. And I love this envelope even, because this could be a flip out on a journal layout. So you get 1, 2, 3 of those, and the floral print cards are inside, and it's all vellum. I love vellum, so that's quite pretty. Oh, look at this. Let's open that. It's a charm. I think I'm gonna put this in my journal, on my journal charm. It's a lantern. I don't know if you can tell. I hope my camera's in focus. That's really cute. And then this is cards. It says natural cards. So I don't know if they're like handmade paper maybe. But let's see. Let's take off that pretty twine. And I'm not so graceful in packaging things, I guess is what I'm finding here. Oh, I love this envelope too. So many beautiful, oops, I'm already dropping things. So many beautiful items. Look at all this beautiful floral stationery. Oh my goodness. And it's stickers and paper. You guys, look at the mushrooms. I cannot stress how neat these subscription boxes are. You get so many journal supplies. I'm kind of addicted to them, and I'm actually gonna probably order the next one because I absolutely am loving them. I even love that they come in this beautiful vellum envelope. I'm gonna use that even. And it looks like the last bit of goodies in here is paper, which is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at all of this. I'm excited to do this layout because I've decided to pair it with Lizzie's graduation, and it's gonna be Your Future is Bright. And I was very much inspired by this lantern stamp when I pulled it out of the box when I did my little TikTok preview in these candles. So I'm very excited. If you are interested in purchasing, please head over to the Your Creative Studio website. I've linked everything in the description box down below. These subscription boxes are once a month, and you receive something different every month. So this is the September box, but the next month box will be different, October, November, etc. You do not want to miss out. If you are looking to build your journaling collection and your paper crafting collection, this is such a great way to go. Everything is very unique and perfect for crafting, perfect for journaling, perfect for junk journaling and scrapbooking. You get stickers, envelopes, stamps, washi tape. Everything's different, and it's always very unique and thematic. So be sure to check out the subscription box down below. I've linked everything, and thank you so much, Your Creative Studio, for sending me these incredible goodies. Now stay tuned because I'm going to show you how I use a lot of these products in a layout that's going to be very special to me. So thanks so much. Journaling milestones is always exciting, especially when they are graduation milestones. So I have so many pictures for this layout. In fact, that's pretty much all I have are all of these photos. As you can see, I don't have a lot of ephemera. I have photos from Lizzie's college graduation, preschool graduation, kindergarten graduation, and her high school graduation. So I'm really grateful for the subscription box because I don't have much ephemera to speak of. I just have a lot of photos. I do, however, have this really pretty piece of fabric that she loves, and so I'm going to try to incorporate that into the layout as well. So I'm going to start with this sort of very basic page. It's just fabric dyed paper, and I'm going to grab some of the pieces that really kind of jumped out at me. I wanted the theme for this layout to be Your Future is Bright, so I want to use some of the lanterns, some of the candles, definitely going to use those tags. And I think what I'm going to start with is this sort of textured tissue paper that wrapped everything that came in the box in. So I'm just gonna very quickly give it a quick measure, and then I'm going to use some glue and just stick it right to the center of the page. I love the texture and the way this tissue paper looks, so I knew I really wanted that to be the base for this layout because I just think it had a really neat look. So I don't have any other reason except I like it. So I guess that's good enough of a reason to use it. So I just use my glue stick and I stick it right there to the center of the layout. I'm just going to use a scraper to make sure that that tissue is down as uniformly as possible because I know I'm going to be layering a lot of things over it. So I want to make sure it's on there nice and flat. So the first thing I'm going to use are the scrapbook papers that was in the box, but they're actually big stickers, which is really neat. So I'm just going to take the backing off and stick it right to the corner of the layout. I wanted to make sure that that candle would be in the layout because I think it gets the message across about the future being bright. And so I just grab another one of those big sticker scrapbook papers. I stick it to the top and it's a little bit tall, so what I'm going to do is just wrap it over onto the back. Just fold it right over and stick it down. Those were so easy, I loved it. So now I'm going to start trimming down all the photos I have. Obviously these three especially I knew were going to be in this layout, so I just sort of haphazardly started trimming them down. I know they're not going to stay this size. Obviously I just don't want a bunch of big photographs on the layout, and I do want to keep it to a single layout. I didn't want it to kind of carry over into 2 pages. I wanted all of the graduations to be represented right when you opened the layout. So I do know I'm going to need to trim these down a little bit smaller. I just don't know how much smaller. So I'm going to kind of see how they look in their original size and then move on from there. But very quickly I see, oh yeah, a lot needs to get trimmed off of these. So I just get out my paper cutter. I use a paper cutter for a lot of things, mainly because I can't cut a straight line for anything. I just can't. I don't know why. I am so bad at cutting a straight line. So maybe I didn't learn it in preschool. I don't know. So paper cutter makes it easy and it's always nice and straight. So I just trim the excess off, and I do know I want to have her as a younger girl on one side and her as an older girl on the other. So I think what I'm going to do is trim this large photo out as kind of like more of a silhouette, because I don't want just a giant 8x10 picture on one side of the layout. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to kind of cut that silhouette out and just stick it right to the corner of the other page for now. And before I glue or tape any of these photos down, I do want to get that large piece of fabric down onto the page, because really that fabric is just going to be a layering aspect to this layout, and also a pop of color, because a lot of the products in the subscription box were or are like a sepia tone. So I think by adding that fabric, it adds a really pretty pop of color, and it's something that Lizzie likes. So it kind of has a special kind of feel to it as well. So I just use PVA glue, a very light layer, and I stick it right to the page. And since the glue's out, I'm actually just going to use that same PVA glue on the silhouette photo, and I'm going to stick it right there to the corner of the page. And it's okay that some of it's laying off kind of the side of the page, because I'm just going to trim it off. I don't need every bit of her robe to be in it. So it's okay with me that I'm going to have to trim off some of that picture, because I like the way that looks. And yeah, I'm just super happy. I haven't glued down or taped down the other photos yet, because I'm not totally sold on if that's where they're going. So I'm kind of just leaving them there, and I'm kind of sitting with it to decide how I feel about it. But I do think what I'm going to do is take all of these beautiful pieces of ephemera out of this little vellum envelope, and I'm actually going to use the envelope rather than the ephemera to hold her college picture. I'm going to use this one because it's in front of the big Whittier College wall. And that way you could see the photo, but it's a little more interesting than just sticking another photo onto the layout. And so, and the other neat thing is I'm actually going to be able to add all of her photos into that envelope, any photo I don't use. I found this little piece of dried flower washi tape. It's like a big washi tape sticker. So when I saw that, I knew I wanted that on the layout. So I you know, put that right on the bottom. And this is some pretty washi tape, and it kind of reminded me of like primary school, elementary school, because it's numbers. So I put a big piece of that on that side where I knew her younger graduation photos were going to be. So I'm just kind of completing that collage layered look, and then I'll decide to put these pictures on. Kindergarten goes on top and preschool will go right on the bottom. I'm using a glue stick for the kindergarten graduation picture, and then I'm going to actually use double stick tape for the preschool because I'm going to use gold photo corners on the preschool, and it's easier to use the gold corners when you can lift up the ends of the photo, so that's why I just use a little bit of tape. And I apologize if you could hear all the really loud, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't think it's yard work, but something is happening outside the window and it's so loud. So I'm so sorry if you can hear it. But anyway, I am just adding those gold corners to the side of that picture. I love those gold corners. I used them in my last layout, and I'll probably use them in my next one too. It's just kind of something I'm loving right now. So now that I'm happy with all the photos I'm going to use that vellum envelope, and I'm going to glue down that flap onto the back side of the page. But first I'm going to use my circle punch, and I'm going to make like a half circle right at the top. And the reason I do that is so that it's easier to grab the pictures and take them in and out of the envelope, because if I didn't do that, it'd be kind of hard to stick my fingers in and get the pictures. But by punching that half circle, it makes it a little bit easier. So now that I've glued that flap down, I'm going to add some thick washi tape to the top just to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'm really happy with how this looks. I think it's a really neat layered effect, and it also kind of makes that college picture prominent, and I really like that. I do know I wanted to feature at least one more college picture, and I just didn't really know how to do it. One of my favorite pieces in the subscription box was this little airmail envelope. So rather than use it as a traditional envelope, I'm going to create another flip out over that large high school picture. And I think what I'm going to do is get my favorite photo of Lizzie from her graduation night. She is showing the I love you sign, and she's just so happy. So I'm going to trim it down to fit right on the top of that envelope, and then that airmail border around the envelope will actually serve as a border for the picture. So once I have the photo all trimmed down, you'll be able to see that it actually creates kind of a neat little border. And I'm just going to use double stick tape to stick that photo on there, and then I'm going to adhere that fold out in the exact same way that I adhered the vellum envelope. And I'm just going to stick the Your Creative Studio card in there because I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to work with them. And I'm just going to use that double stick tape. I'm going to stick it right onto the top, and I just think it's a really sweet, that was a really sweet moment. And Lizzie and I both really love that picture, so it was important to me to want to include that. So I'm just going to use my glue stick again. I'm going to put that flap right onto the back of the journal page, and then I'm going to use another piece of washi tape just right over the top to make sure it's nice and secure. And the reason I do that is I do hope that my journal is around for many, many years to come, and I hope people feel free to look at them and see all of the fold outs and peek inside all the envelopes. And so I want to make sure it's nice and secure. Now this is kind of the really fun part. The layout for all intents and purposes is complete. So now what I get to do is really find some of those favorite pieces from the subscription box and just kind of create. So I loved those little dried flowers on that vellum paper. I loved the decal stickers, the washi tape, the stamps. So now what I get to do is really just kind of add those finishing touches that will help make a really finished look for the page. And the first piece I grabbed were these large postage stamps. I absolutely love them when I pulled them all out of the packaging. And so I picked two that are something that kind of made me think of Lizzie. So one of them says "Make Art Not War," and that was perfect because she's actually an artist. She's an artist and a dancer and a science teacher. I love that. And then I also picked one with a phonograph on it, and I chose that one because she loves and always has loved and collected vinyl. So I just take the backs off and I stick the phonograph on one side and I stick the Make Art Not War on the other. And now I'm just going to continue to find the little pieces that I want to use to continue to create. I think what I'm going to grab next is the washi tape and the stamps. Those were things that were really inspiring when I decided I wanted to create a thematic page for Lizzie's graduation. So I got that washi tape with the candles and I stick it and layer it just kind of right over that washi tape I've already laid down on her kindergarten picture. I think that's really neat, and layering is a lot of fun. It kind of is a really fun way to collage. And the next thing I'm going to use is that stamp. I know I wanted to incorporate that lantern stamp. And these are actually cling stamps. They're meant to be put on acrylic blocks. But every time I use these stamps, they have such a clear, pretty image that I don't even need to put it on my acrylic block. So I just use my fingers, and it's really, really wonderful. So in a second, I'm going to show you how clear the image is, and that's without a block. So you don't need to run out and buy an acrylic block if you don't have one. Just use your fingers, just like I'm doing here. You're going to get a nice, clean image. I'm going to show you right now on a little scrap paper. So it's a really beautiful stamp, and you don't need an acrylic block to do it. So since I put a lantern stamp up at the top, I decided I wanted to use some of those little lantern decal stickers. So I just pick a few and kind of scatter them around the page because they are transparent. So you can even kind of stick them right over photos and you're going to be able to see right through them. So decal stickers are a really fun touch. They actually look like a stamp as well. So I really wanted to add those, and I like what they were able to add to the layout. And I kept going back and forth with these little dried flowers on the vellum, and so I got out my Tim Holtz Distress ink and I put it all over the entire front of those little dried flowers, and I'm just going to use my glue stick and put it right on the top of the vellum envelope. And there'll be a little bit of a layover, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim it off, but I think it makes it look really pretty. And I think the flowers are very much Lizzie's vibe and reminiscent of her style. So it was important to me to get that on the page. And I'm definitely nearing the end here. I'm very happy with how this layout has turned out. I think it has just enough color and just enough pictures to really represent how proud I am and how fun it was to create this layout. I'm just kind of flipping through the odds and ends to see if there's anything else I want to add. I love that butterfly, but I did choose not to use it in the end. And I do know, however, that I wanted to grab those little rectangle tags. They're like sticker tags, because I do want to label each picture. So I want to write kindergarten and when she graduated, preschool and when she graduated, high school and when she graduated, and college and when she graduated. So those little labels were perfect for just that little bit of journaling that I wanted to add about each photo. I have to be honest, I think these labels were probably my favorite thing that came in the box. There were so many, and I've been looking for little labels like this for my layouts for a long time. So I'm very excited to see that I have a whole block of them that's going to last me for quite some time. And they're stickers, which is super easy. I don't even need to use my glue stick. And they're exactly the look I was going for when I had this layout in my head. So I'm very, very happy with these labels. I think they're really neat. So now that all of those labels are on, I think I'm just going to grab all those photos that didn't quite make it into the layout, and I'm going to slip them into that vellum envelope. And the really great part about this is in a few years when she graduates from her master's program, I'll have all of the pictures in a central place. I can easily grab things or even just add to this layout in some way. And all the pictures will be exactly where I need them to be. I won't need to go scrolling through my phone for years. They'll all be right here, and I can just easily have access to them. So now that I've kind of finished with the ephemera odds and ends, I'm actually going to add a tab. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to be able to easily flip to this page. And so I'm going to pick a unique one that will be representative of Lizzie on this page. So even though I think that pink one probably looked the best, I'm actually going to use that floral kind of yarn one because she loves this trim. I actually used it in a journal I created for her in the past. So I'm just going to cut a little section of it off, and I'm going to staple it right to the end of the page. And it will always make me think of her, and so I know that that will be the tab that is her graduation layout. And as always, I love adding the little word stickers by Tim Holtz. And so I pick a few that seem meaningful and I just scatter them around the page. I think they add a very finished look. So if I am not using these adorable little word stickers by Tim Holtz, I'm using my own that are called Magic Words. They're a little bit bigger, but you can find them in my Etsy shop, and they're a little bit more geared towards theme park and nostalgia. And I also want to add that charm that came in the subscription box. So I just use a bulb pin and I slide it right on there, and then I stick that pin right into the tab. So it'll just kind of hang off and add a really neat look. The very last thing I end up doing, well, almost the very last thing, is this is the program from her graduation. And so I grabbed the page with her name, which they actually got wrong, but that's okay. I'm not mad. At least it was right on her diploma, and they said it right during the ceremony. But I just cut the little section that is her name or where her name is, and I just slide it right into that little envelope because I do want to keep it even though it's not exactly right. And this really sweet wrapping paper was the wrapping paper I used to wrap her graduation presents. So I saved a little scrap from her gift, and I'm just sticking it right into the back. So when you flip up that vellum envelope, you'll see that bright colored wrapping paper, and that's a memory from the day. And this is my finished layout. I did all of my journaling off camera, and that was because I really wanted to have time to think about it and reminisce and just write a letter from the heart so that when Lizzie or anybody else goes through this layout, they'll be able to read and feel what an honor it was to truly create this layout for somebody who would work so hard for so many wonderful and memorable graduations. Looking at all of these pictures, it just makes me smile because I feel like I remember every picture like it was yesterday. Every moment is special, and I'm just so grateful to be on this journey with Lizzie. I'm so grateful that she loves learning, and she's always been such a wonderful student, and now she is a teacher, and it has been wonderful to watch her grow as a human and as a student. So I hope you were inspired by this layout. I hope you learned something that you can take away and use in your own journaling process. And I hope you will do me a favor and leave a comment and like this video because that definitely helps my YouTube channel grow, and I appreciate your support very much. I just wanted to say thank you again to Your Creative Studio for helping make this layout come to life with your beautiful products. And I want to say thank you to you for stopping by my channel and watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.